Hello, Pisces. It is time for your June update. We're going to start out with an oracle card and see what kind of energy you're working with here in the second half of June. And we have the Poet. I love it. Relationships and vulnerability. It's a feeling of poetic justice a little bit in here. It's like there's this flow, the feeling of flow. Poetry in motion type of thing. This is feeling, before we see the tarot cards anyway, it's feeling like a very positive, forward motion type of energy, having to do with relationships and vulnerability. So resolving things and there's a romantic feel to it. The word slam poetry comes forward though, so I'm wondering if it's going to be very more quick, deliberate kind of flow to it. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But it's definitely one thing after the other, and there's a flow and a rhythm and a cadence to this second half of the month. And you may notice that pattern as things go on, as the days move forward. Some of you may have even noticed that already, that there's this sense of a rhythm happening with your relationships or with something where you're feeling very vulnerable. When is that feeling coming up? You're going to recognize a pattern for that. It's going to be significant to you. Okay, let's see what tarot cards we have for you. We have Death, the Ten of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Three of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, it's endings and beginnings. And it's almost like if it is a poem, if it were a literal poem, it starts at the ending and ends at the beginning, if that makes sense. I don't know what they call that too when it's there's a sense of foreshadowing, but no, it's more, it's one of those stories where you get the ending first and you kind of work back to the beginning to see how and understand how. It's almost like you won't recognize in some cases what's happening in the moment until you get to the end, and then you'll be able to look back and see how each of those things, each of those words, each of those decisions played into the ending. I hope that's making sense. It's making sense in my head, and it feels very poetic in my head. So hopefully that's coming through. But let's see what we have here in the actual individual tarot cards. We're starting out here with the Death card. This is a major arcana card. And this is indicating the end of one thing so that something new can begin. It's a card of transformation. But one thing has to end before the new thing can start. It's rebirth in a way. So it could be things like the ending of one relationship, which opens you up for a new relationship. It could be the end of one job or career, which opens you up for something that you really want to do. But one thing has to end before the next thing can begin. It's strongly what I'm getting from this card. And there can be fear in that. There can be regret in that. There can be worry or anxiety in that too, because it is change. It is transformation. And because it's a major arcana card, you don't really have a choice in this change happening. It's happening whether you want it to or not. But the intention is to have you come out new and refreshed and stronger than before. And then we have the Ten of Cups, and tens also indicate endings. Cups are about our emotions and intuition, and the Ten of Cups is typically known as the happy family card. It's the completion of a cycle. It's almost like you have a great family. This part of your life, there are no problems with, there are no issues with. There is support, there is love, there is happiness, growth, joy. There is a sense of unity and support. This is something you've reached. This is something you've accomplished. This is something you have felt. Now, what is next? Are you adding on to the family? Is somebody going off to college? Are you moving? You've had success so far, or up to this point, or you've achieved anyway a pinnacle of success in your mind at this point. It's a good feeling, a joyful feeling. Yeah, and again, like I said, this feels like it's going backward, and I already have the story unraveling in my mind. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. And then we have the Four of Wands. Wands are a fire element. This is about passion, creation, vitality, and boldness. Fours are about stability, solid foundations. And the Four of Wands is typically about commitments, communities coming together, the joining of two families, marriage, weddings, engagements. It could also just be celebrations, celebrating the unity of a community, of a group of friends. In this card, clearly it's a couple or a wedding or an engagement, but they're very happy together. They are coming together and committing to each other to build a strong foundation for the future. This is so interesting that it's going in reverse. We'll go back around the other way once we get there. And then we have the Three of Cups, back into cups, about our emotions. This is about friends, the people that you hang out with, that support you, that you get together and you enjoy each other's company. You really appreciate each other. This may be where this couple met, is through this group of friends. Or maybe they were part of this group of friends and a relationship grew out of that. But this is meaningful. These people mean a lot to you and you really enjoy each other's company, support each other, and really encourage each other and like to see and encourage happiness amongst all of you and celebrating the big milestones in life together. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. Now, Pentacles are an earth element, and this can be about work, could be about home, finances. The Three of Pentacles in particular is a team of people working together to create something bigger than themselves, something for a community, something that can last for a long time, or it could be a major project at work. But each of them have their own unique set of skills, and together they make a very strong, solid team. Now, this whole thing is playing into that whole reversal thing that I had at the beginning. So if we go backward through this, we have some people who meet at work, get to be friends and hanging out together. And maybe this is where the romance starts, eventually getting engaged or married, creating a beautiful family together. And then some change happens. Something has to change. It could be that this is a move where you're having to leave the friends behind and go together off to another country, another state, somewhere where it feels like you're starting over. This does not feel like divorce. This feels like having to uproot your life in order to improve it. It's not a negative thing, but it is definitely a change where you're having to almost start this process over in a way where you're going to have to build up this new friendship group in this new company, in this new state, in this new area, whatever that means for you. But it's going to be a definite change, a definite transformation. It could even be, and this has come forward, that somebody's going to have to leave the family to go work somewhere else. Like they're going to be separated from the family. So this could have to do with military. It could have to do with who else is it that goes away for months? Like people who work on the oil rigs and linemen, I think, also do the same thing. where they're going to be separated from the family for a while, but the goal or the purpose of this is to help enrich the life of the family. But it is a sacrifice and it is a change, not just for them or for you, but for the whole family unit and even the friend group. Yeah. It's the story in reverse, or it flows back and forth. Change is inevitable. These relationships, though, even with this person or this thing, the relationships are always going to be there, but they do change and they do evolve with distance, which is where that need to now grow new friend groups and new closest with new people to have that kind of support and camaraderie that you had here into the future. It's interesting. And then we start that cycle over again. Is this something that could be condensed into a day or a week? It could, in a way. If you're someone maybe who does, if this is where we're work related, let's say, if you're somebody who is a contractor or a consultant where you move from company to company for your work, or the type of work you do is very transitory. Within that community, you may know other people that are also doing that same kind of work. That's where this group of people is from. But then you also have your family, the backbone of your life that support you. But there is this need, or as part of your life, there is that ebb and flow of this work where it takes you to different places and impacts who you're meeting with and who you're interacting with and how your relationships work depending on where you are and the people that are around you. It's very interesting. But this is what works for you. For some of you, this may even be your dream. So you've always wanted this type of work and have hoped that you also have the friends and family as your backbone, your mainstay, to support you in this type of thing. And you have that, or you will. And then on the back of the deck, we have the Two of Pentacles. Amongst all this, this is your balance. This is your balance of work and home. And the need to make sure you're maintaining that balance and not taking on a third job or a third commitment that's going to throw things out of balance. Choose wisely what it is you want to do. Choose your next assignment wisely. Which location, if you have most, keeps you in closer contact with these groups that are important to you, or allows you more time to be in touch with them, even if it's virtually, so that you have that work-life balance, so that you feel like you're not missing out, because that's important to you. And that, Pisces, is what I have for you for your mid-June update. Please hit that like button and please hit subscribe to help me grow my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.